Well, hello everyone. I'm not sure how many of you recognize the place I'm in. It's been altered many times. We call it the Coffee Corner. I suspect that's because back in the day, they had coffee and fellowship down here. But we still call it the Coffee Corner, even though I don't see any coffee or any places for fellowship. But there is this door here that I wanted to talk to you about. This is kind of an unknown passageway, if you will, a small door that is entered into a room that's actually the size of Shepherd Hall, not nearly as tall, but the same dimensions as Shepherd Hall. And when I was thinking about this small access into a larger room, I was also studying some of the prophets. You know, the prophets are divided between what we call the major prophets and the minor prophets. The major prophets being Isaiah, Jeremiah, followed by Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel. And then with Hosea, it begins the minor prophets. Now, that's just because they're smaller. It's a matter really of chapters. Unlike the 66 chapters of Isaiah, the 52 chapters of Jeremiah, there are 14 chapters in Hosea. And like this little door, there is a lot behind it. Maybe just one little verse that I would like to share with you from Hosea that has really touched my heart. This is in the 14th chapter. It says, this is God speaking to Israel. I will love them freely, for my anger has turned away from them. I will be like the dew to Israel. God's love comes like dew. That's what this verse is telling us. And you know, if you think about the formation of dew, it usually comes early in the morning. It's absolutely invisible until it's formed. And it is oftentimes formed in a quiet, receptive leaf or plant. So I thought of how God's love is oftentimes deposited into our heart in the same way. Now, in nature, if there are strong winds, if there's heat, that can prevent the formation of dew. And the same is true in our hearts. If our hearts are filled with the storms of fear or doubt or the heat of anger or resentment, it's difficult for God's still small voice, his tender love to be felt. Well, certainly this last year has been full of storms. I think the winds of fear and worry have been strong, but you know, they can also blow us towards God, who alone can calm some of these storms and allow the dew of his love to form in our hearts. You know, I have a favorite proverb, and I'm going to share it with you now. It's Proverbs. It's found in the very first chapter of Proverbs, and it's Proverbs 17, and it says, "Indeed, it is useless to spread the net in the eyes of any bird." Now, a quick explanation of that, you know, a fowler who wants to catch a bird can't just run out into a covey of birds and throw out the net, because as soon as a bird sees the net, they're going to fly away because they have wings. And of course, that immediately reminds me of one of the major prophets, Isaiah, in the 40th chapter, the 31st verse. He said, "We shall mount up with wings like eagles." So I think we as Christians need to understand that an eagle has the ability to lock its wings in place. And in the midst of a storm, it can rise above the storm by using the wind to just soar until they're above the storm. And so let's all spread our Christian wings and ride out this storm. And let's let God's love bless us all.